Hello, pandas of the internet. My name is Pandachan. I'm a full-time artist-ish, a part-time cosplayer, and someone who's currently on vacation in Prague. I'm having a blast. Now, today's horror story is about a player who decides to attack both a diva and a dragon at the same time. So, if you're ready, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. This RPG horror story was posted by Skyguard on Land. The time when one of my players decided to roleplay as chaotic neutral. Hello everyone! This is one of the mild ones. Not really a horror story at all for anyone who isn't the DM, me. For me though, this story resulted in dramatic tearing out of several pages of my notes and extra crunch hours before the next game. Actors. Me, DM, wizard, unimportant, warlock, and monk. This story goes back about 6 or 7 years, when my D&D group finally transitioned to the 5th edition, since nobody besides me cared to learn the intricacies of the older editions. This was, I believe, the second game I led by the new rules, so everyone was mostly familiar with them now and started enjoying themselves. The horror story itself takes place in the 3rd session of the campaign, and the stuff that happens beforehand is mostly irrelevant, except for 3 plot points. 1. The party was shipwrecked on Churl and had to find a way off. 2. They had camp followers from the surviving members of the crew, one of which was the captain, the other was his first mate. 3. The party managed to negotiate with a blue dragon to do a favor for him in exchange for him flying them to Kalishman. This is where the actual story starts. The form of the favor that the dragon requested was to help him clear a Duragar dungeon, because it was too cramped for his true form, and him being polymorphed into a humanoid made him significantly weaker. And Duragar, on account of being dwarves, also had magic resistance, and the dragon really did not want to underestimate dwarvish ingenuity. So off they go to the dungeon, and things proceed as planned so far, up until they come to a twist. Now, I would like to explain the exact kind of players my group consisted of. Monk and wizard were more random number generators than your normal players. Any one of them at any given moment in time could decide to do absolutely anything. Most of my campaigns with them ended with one or the other doing something utterly illogical at a poor time that I couldn't predict in advance. This was one of those times. The party is going through a large cave, fighting Duragar with the dragon, and the shipwrecked captain and his mate are trying to help. Now during the battle, the first mate gets pushed into the ravine by an errant grenade and presumably falls to his death. The party liked him, so they were somewhat upset, especially because the first mate also carried about food, sleeping bags, tents, and all the other boring but necessary stuff. They finish the fight and descend into the ravine on a convenient elevator, and when they reach the bottom, it turns out that the first mate isn't actually dead and was caught in his fall by a badly wounded diva. I think that is a celestial if I remember correctly, who was trapped at the bottom of the ravine. Everyone rejoices, except the blue dragon. Now, Diva, being a zealot, was not very fond of seeing a chromatic dragon, and immediately attacked him. The party manages to drag them apart for a minute or two, so that they could decide how to handle the situation. Nobody wants to fight either Diva or the dragon, but talking Diva out of fighting isn't working out. They debate for a moment on who to support. At this moment, Wizard apparently got tired of waiting and cast Scorching Bolt on both Dragon and Diva. I was stunned for a solid 20 seconds, trying to figure out what was the intention there. There was absolutely no way one of them would survive fighting both monsters at the same time. Wizard just assumed that he hit and rolled damage. I am looking at the monster's stats, trying to figure out a way to lawyer my way into somehow retconning this without it being obvious. I did not want to write up a new campaign for a third time this month, so I was decidedly against just letting them die. What results is a comedic three-way chase scene where the dragon chases around the cave after Wizard while being chased by Diva himself. And Warlock and Monk just watch as it happens. Eventually, Dragon and Diva catch Wizard and beat him up school bully style. Badly, but not mortally. Apparently, beating the Wizard helped Diva to realize that maybe Dragon wasn't so bad after all. Oh, and later, the same session, I made the mistake of letting Monk roll strength to kick open an adamantine door, and he rolled 20. Yeah, Monk was absolutely lucky all the time, on top of being very random. About 2/3 of the dungeons skipped notice. The reason why this situation was a horror story for me is because now that they were friends with both Diva and Dragon meant that I couldn't actually have the dragon betray them and leave them to dry like I planned to, because Diva can read minds and would immediately know Dragon's whole plan. About 2/4 of my prepped content skipped, and they were on the way to Kalmishan, with me being absolutely unprepared. What an absolute nightmare for any DM. I am so sorry, OP. I don't think I would have recovered as quickly as you did, and I don't know if I'd be as forgiving to the player as you were. Did you ever ask Wizard what he was thinking? But anyways, I hope you managed to bounce back and have a fun campaign anyways. With that, we have come to the end of the horror story. Leave me a like, subscribe, and in the comments tell me what was the most reckless thing you or another player did. I think mine would have to be the time my lawful evil cleric sold her firstborn and then fought the person she sold the child to for custody because she felt like it. The link to the original story is in the description, so go give it a read. You can find my social media links down there as well, and with all of that being said, I will see you next time.